going? And welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? It's been 2 weeks since I last spoke to you, and I have read, but I haven't read that much. I have mostly focused myself on graphic novels. I don't know, I found one that I loved and I was just like, okay, only graphic novels for now. But the first book that I finished was Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, which is the author of House of Salt and Sorrows, which I read last year and I was so surprised by it. Like the perfect amount of creepiness and cheesiness. So I went into this book hoping for the same, and I got it. Like, it didn't have like that same feel because House of Salt and Sorrows is set on an island and the ocean just has that cool effect on the book. But this one is basically set in the middle of nowhere with woods surrounding this village, and something is out there in the forest someday and basically cuts communication with this village, for this village with all the villages around and the cities and such. They're basically just like trapped in their own small town and people start going crazy basically. Oh my god, I loved it. I picked this one on a whim because I wanted like something fast and straight to the point, creepy, atmospheric. This delivered perfectly. I just love this author. This type of book like Rules for Banishing, House of Salt and Sorrows, Hold Back the Tide, they have something. Like they have something that is so good. Like so good. But yeah, overall I loved it. I just really don't want to talk anything about this book. I refuse, because holy shit, it's so much better when you're experiencing it. The only thing that I will say is that I actually like the romance. There's a romance in this book and I actually liked it. Super predictable, yes, but super enjoyable. The ending was great. You could feel like the cold and everything is just great. It's separated into seasons, so you start in the summer and you go from there. It's just so good, man. Highly recommend this one. I give it 4, but I'm thinking about bumping it up to 4.5 because it was so enjoyable. I listened to it in like 2 days. The audiobook was fantastic. I was just thinking about finishing it. Like I wanted to finish it. I was so invested. So good, man. Like 4 stars. 4.5, you know what? 4.5. Then I read my Spanish book. This is Reina Roja by Juan Gómez Jurado. This is a not noir, but it's basically police thriller. How is it called in English? Like, it's a thriller, but it's basically centered around a police department. I have to say, this is a very hyped book in Spain. Like, it sold a lot. My mom is so obsessed with this series. I just bought her like the 3rd book and she's just like eating it up. And I was really curious, you know, like everyone loved this. I want to know. And I have to say, even though I liked it, I just feel so disconnected with this genre. Like, thrillers and I have been having like an internal like argument. I decided that I just like domestic thrillers. Anything apart from that, I just don't care. Well, maybe if, you know, like more of a secluded type of thriller, then I also love that. But something related to police and investigating like super serial killer and such, I just don't care if the main character is a police officer. I don't know why. But I prefer that like sense of hopelessness that you have when you're like an average human being and an average person in general. So it's fine. I still liked it. It's very addicting. That I can say in its favor. Like you can read this in so little time and it's quite a chunker. You can fly through this. Like it's it's a super fast read. So I basically gave it 3.5. I did find like some bits really interesting and I will be reading the sequel, but I just don't have like that necessity being just like, oh yeah, I need to read it. It's fine. Overall, I liked it. I feel like this is a very prominent genre here. Like thrillers related to police or to war and such is super popular here. Like the most like sold authors all just write the same. So yeah, I do have to say, like, I don't know if the representation was really well done here, but overall, fairly enjoyable. You feel like the most intelligent human on the planet, and she's part of this program to solve like difficult crimes. very acceptable. She's very unlikable at the beginning, but towards the end she gets really likable. Pretty average overall. It's just hard. I really wanted to like it a lot. But yeah, 3.5 overall. Then I read the graphic novel. Holy shit. This is Something is Killing the Children, and I loved it. This is the Spanish edition. I got them for my birthday as presents from one of my friends. I love this. This was so good. Like, I knew I was going to like this. I've been keeping my eye on this graphic novel for a long time. But man, basically the novel starts up and something eats children. That's it. Straight to the point. Super gory. Holy fuck, I wasn't expecting it. It's been so much time since I read like a pure horror novel. I loved it. I actually have something here. Fellow fans of the series will know what this is. I got it with book 2. It's so cool. But yeah, I'm obsessed. I ordered volume 3. I will talk about volume 2 later, but I just ordered volume 3. I'm obsessed. It hasn't come out in Spanish yet, so I will order it in English. Sadly, my collection will look disastrous, but I don't care. I just need to read it. And volume 4 is coming out in January. So perfect. But yeah, if you like hunting monsters, gore in general, you will love this. It's amazing, and it's getting more interesting with every volume. Like, I'm so invested on this. I gave it basically 5 stars. I give it like 4.5, but rounded it up, it's 5 stars. I cannot stop thinking about this thing. Just so good. Then surprisingly enough, because I was watching Arcane, I wanted like something dark but set on a city. So I reread The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostetter. It was weird because when I read this, I didn't love it as much as I did on a reread. Like, it was in that time of the year where I was really slumpy. It was one of my most anticipated releases, and I gave it 4 stars, but I didn't love it. And you know, I was thinking about it, like, we have something that has murders and dark magic and horror and gore. Helm of Midnight. And I reread it, and I actually liked it more this time around. I gave it 4.5. It's not perfect because some parts drag a bit. Basically, the story is told from 3 perspectives and 3 timelines. Like, most of these characters appear in the 3, but you have one 10 years ago, one 2 years ago, and one in the present. So in the present one, you basically kind of follow a police officer, and then you have a healer apprentice, and the other one is the story of how like a normal guy turned into a serial killer. It is great. The magic here is based around using these masks, and you can actually just store your kind of, not your soul, but your kind of essence and how you act in mask and your knowledge, and use it in the future. Like, someone can use it later. It's just great, and I didn't remember this being that good, so I give it 4.5. I just don't want to stay in this one for too long because I have already talked about this one. But yeah, I really liked it. I actually just like feel like this is one of my like new favorite things, and the ending left me wanting for more this time around. But yeah, really liked it overall. Highly recommend this one if you like a more of a gritty dark fantasy. It's great. It reminded me a lot of the Monstrumologies. Then I read a volume 2 of Something is Killing the Children, which I gave 5 stars. It picked up immediately when volume 1 left. Man, in this one we learned a little bit more about our mysterious heroine, Erica, from the House of Slaughter. I'm just going to leave it at that. This graphic novel is just so good. Probably my new favorite graphic novel. Depending on the ending, like Lock and Key and Sandman are up there, but this one, man. This one has been fantastic. I cannot wait to get my hands on volume 3 this week. Like, I need it. I need it. I haven't been buying books lately. Like, I buy like 2 a month or something like that. I immediately bought volume 2 when I finished volume 1. And I immediately bought volume 3 when I finished volume 2. Like, I was desperate to get it. So yeah, 5 stars. Then I read a manga that I got for my birthday also. This was a gift from one of my friends. Halsa Ramina by Junji Ito. This is horror manga, and I was really interested in this one because it's basically about a planet that shows up through a black hole and gets closer to Earth and starts eating like the other planets and such. So I was really into it. But the thing is, with Junji Ito, I just have a problem is that I love his premises, but I just don't really feel the execution. The same was, it was the same with Gio. I do have Uzumaki, which Chelsea gifted to me. Thank you so much. But I don't know. I really like the premise of this. It's something like with what happened to me with Victoria Shop in general. Like, the premises are fantastic. It sounds great. But the execution, though the art is fantastic as always. But the story itself, I don't know. But I gave it 3 stars. Fairly okay overall. I have to let this one to one of my friends because he's really into Genji Ito in general, but I don't know. If you have read this, please just let me know your thoughts down below, because I'm just really interested in discussing this with someone else. Like, I have a weird feeling with it. It's just weird. Though I have to say that I read it in one sitting. Like, it was really engaging overall because it's a very fast story. Not unlike Gio, that you can just pause in between chapters. This one is very fast, of course. This is Wintersteel, book 8 in the Cruel series by Will White. What can I say? I just love this series so much. I just can't even tell you like with a straight face anymore. I love it. Like, oh man, I give this one 4.5, but I rounded it up to a 5-star in Goodreads because I think it's closer to a 5-star than a 4-star. I really liked it. It picks up immediately after book 7 in the same tournament. Well, some things have changed, but I do have to say that what surprised me the most is that even though Linden has been our main character since book 1, we are more focused on other characters in this book, which is such a surprising choice and such a great choice. Also, like, it was great. It helped develop the other characters that, you know, you're so used to see right now. Ethan is still one of my favorites. I don't know why, but there's something about him that I love. Oh my god, Mercy. Everyone is great in this series. Like, honestly, I cannot find a single character that I dislike. They are all so good, man. But yeah, it picks immediately after the other book. The ending of this one, oh my god. I do have to say that I didn't give it like 5 stars like at the previous one, because that like change of tone with following other characters more. It's not like we follow them more, but they are in the main plot line. And Linden is just like... It's staying in one side, being just like, okay, here am I. So that part is not like dragged, but I wasn't as invested as in previous books. I took 0.5 out of the book because of that. But oh man, from the middle till the end, holy fuck. Battles here, the new powers, holy fuck. Jaren, holy fuck. It's so hard to talk about this book being book 8. Like, holy shit. But the ending, just like, I just ordered book 9 because I will be reading it in December. Like, I'm so excited. But man, try the Crawl series. It's amazing. I highly recommend this one for everyone. Like, if you like fantasy, you're going to like the Crawl series. Book 1 is probably like the weakest one, but from book 3 onwards, holy fuck, they are so good. Like, one after another, they are so good. And then the last book that I read this month, well, it was the last one that I read this month because November is over, but There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Ross Paul. For some reason, this book has been calling to me the entire month. I kept seeing it in the shelf and I was just like, I want to read this book so badly. But I wasn't going to do that until I finished my TBR. And I'm currently reading World Storms, but this is basically about an ensemble cast in a prophecy that there will come a darkness. That's it. This book is mostly set up for the next installments in the series, and I still really enjoyed it. You're full of a bunch of characters in this one. But one thing that I love was the casual LGBT plus representation in here. You have secondary characters, you have main characters, all being from the community, and it was thrown in here so greatly. Someone is in a tavern and they're just like, oh yeah, my husband, and they are men, and it's just like thrown in there so well. I loved it. I loved it. But this one, plot, meh. But I don't know, I just really like the characters overall. We have Ephra, which is kind of an assassin. You have her sister, who is just like a dying woman, basically, and Ephra's trying to save her. You have Hassan, who is a lost prince after his city was invaded basically by this new kind of religion. And you also have a member of the guards that is contrary to that new religion. There's a lot going on, okay? There's a lot going on. You also have like kind of a thief in here too. There's a lot, but it's done really well, actually, in general. The characters all feel really fleshed out. I just really liked it in general. But if you're looking for a very heavily plot-centered book, probably not your thing, even though I do have a feeling that book 2 is going to be great plot-wise. Like, I do have a feeling about that. But yeah, overall, if you're looking for that, maybe. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I read it also super fast. It's super engaging. The chapters are each in different POVs, but they are super, like, not short, but they'll feel short. Like, you're jumping around a lot, but it makes sense. Like, everything goes in the same timeline, so you're not too lost. But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, those were basically all the books that I read this week and last week. So have you finished any books this week? What are you currently reading? Please just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.